Yeah, I only think he's number 4. I don't think he's an evil genius sat stroking a white cat.
He's definitely not an evil
exactly.
genius.
He's just the latest in a long line of B-class politicians.
Yeah.
As finally we've got a world, the world leader going, citizens should come first.
Yeah. Okay, so your number 4 villain, Nick,
is the one everybody in the country would probably put at number 1 at the moment. I put him at number 4.
Keir
Starmer.
You put him at number 4?
Number 4.
I'm shocked.
Because he's not the architect of most of the things that are wrong and going wrong. He's just the latest captain of the Titanic. He needs to take personal responsibility, and I do blame him. That's why he's on the list.
Yeah.
But yeah, I only think he's number 4. I don't think he's an evil genius sat stroking a white cat.
He's definitely not an evil genius.
He's just the latest in a long line of B-class politicians. And to be fair, we've not even got B-class politicians. He's a C-class politician, because he can't even do the communications. He can't even do the PR to a decent level anymore now.
Yeah.
He's given up because he's said to himself, I'm not very good at it. All people think politicians lie anyway. No matter what I say, even though most of it's lies, they're going to think the 5% that isn't a lie. They're going to think it's a lie anyway. So I'll just lie all the time, because there's no consequence to me lying to the public.
Yeah.
I've just seen 30 years of people lying every day to the public, and there's never been a consequence. I might as well stop pretending to care and just start lying all the time. So that's why he's on the list. That and his authoritarian streak. He is a villain, but I think it's far too simplistic to raise him to number 1 as if he's the problem. He's not the problem. He's just the latest manifestation of the same problem.
That's really interesting. I think that's interesting for 2 reasons. One is I've put him at number 1 as I thought everybody would. But the second point that's interesting is I'm now fascinated to hear what your number 1 is, because you there must be, obviously don't tell me yet, but there must be somebody. There must be some shadowy figure that you've put at number 1 that I'm not even thinking about at the moment.
You're going to like my number 1 because it's you.
I've put, I actually put my villains into ChatGPT and asked ChatGPT to write about them in the form of George Orwell in 1984. So it wrote for me here: the enforcers of the party, the keepers of the lie, the agents of control, their outer forms as twisted as their inner truths. And it says for Keir Starmer, his face, smooth and polished like a mannequin, a mask devoid of conviction, his dead eyes betray the mechanical emptiness of a man who mouths orders without thought, a puppet animated by strings of power.
Perfect.
Which kind of fits into what you've just said.
Yeah. That's
really interesting, that. So he's your number 4 villain.
Yeah.
Who is your equivalent number 4 hero of 2024?
My number 4 hero is a little bit like Elon Musk, as in he's lower down on the list today, but this time next year he could be at number 1. So he's at number 4 today, and it's President Trump.
Ah, really?
President Trump has changed America. If I was sat in America, maybe he'd be number 1 now.
Yeah.
But we're not in America, we're in the UK. His presidency is likely to change the UK and the Western world forever. But he's not done it yet.
Yeah.
But he's been a breath of fresh air. He started many of the conversations that we're having. He is the only world leader who's attacked the LGBT. That's all ending now in America. He's come out with his policies. He's going to sack all the, you call them trannies, out the army and the navy. They're all being sacked. It's going to be discharged on mental health grounds. Basically, you're mentally ill, you don't serve. Here's a payoff.
Yeah.
He's getting it with the schools. He's doing all the things we want to happen in this country. And he is a breath of fresh air. He's someone we're all looking to now and going, it can happen there.
Yeah.
We've been told for decades none of this can happen.
Yeah.
And we're not allowed to do it, and no one else will do it, and we'll be a pariah on the world stage if we do it. But The most powerful country in the world's doing it. And he seems to be saying, and this is absolutely racist and homophobic, he seems to be saying, I'm going to put US citizens first.
Yeah.
Shock horror.
Yeah.
He's saying other countries' trade deals take advantage of US workers. I'm not having it. I don't know if he's right or wrong. It doesn't matter. The fact he's saying I'm putting US citizens first makes me want to salute the Star-Spangled Banner.
Yeah.
As finally we've got a world, the world leader going, citizens should come first.
Yeah.
That's why we created nation states.
Yeah.
So somebody would put their citizens first.
Yeah.
And that doesn't mean putting your citizens first means you've got to denigrate and kill and make other people poorer in the world. That might be the consequences of your actions, but that's not your aim. But that's for their leaders to make sure they're not poorer and they don't die and their countries don't fail. That's for their leaders to sort out. We vote our leaders to make our lives better and our country better. And for the last so many decades, we've seen the world seems to have, well, the Western world seems to have forgotten that. And he's suddenly remembered it. Well, he's always known it, but he's brought it to public attention again. And that's why he's number 4 on my list, because he's one of the only world leaders, he's the most powerful world leader who thinks like I think. And it's like, thank God for that.
Yeah. I think he has to be in the top 5. I've got him at number 1 though, because I think, well, you've said 2 things there which I agree with. One is that he thinks like you and me, and like most people think about these things. And a lot of people have been thinking these things, but been scared to say they're thinking these things because they're frightened of being called racists, homophobes, transphobes, Islamophobes, or whatever. They're scared of saying anything, and they're thinking these things in their head and thinking, am I wrong? Because everybody, all the media and everybody's saying that I'm a racist right-wing thug or whatever. He's articulated thoughts and said things that normal people think. But the second thing I think is that without him, I think we would be heading to be North Korea, China, all these, so I think that we as a nation in the UK and America was heading in that direction to become a totalitarian communist state, basically. And he, as a complete and utter mutant freak, completely unrelated to the conventional political system, has completely overturned the convention.
And that's because he's not a politician.
Because he's not a politician,
If he'd wanted to be a politician instead of wanting to be a property developer, he'd have spent all his time with politicians, climbing up the greasy pole, taking on their traits, copying their policies, and he would have been a different version of Barack Obama.
Correct,
But because he went into politics 10 years ago.
Almost on a whim.
On a whim.
Yeah.
I would have said he did it probably as a bit of a joke.
Yeah. I think he did start it as a joke.
I would imagine he did, as in, I'm a TV personality. This will only do my reputation good. I think the country's going down the wrong way. I'll be able to vocalise some of the things I think are going wrong, but I ain't got a chance in hell. And as it went on, he looked like he was going to win. So he was a fluke. Same with the guy in Argentina. He's not a career politician.
No, he's not.
And that's what
he's
we need.
He's a lawyer, isn't he?
Yeah, that's what we need to get away from, is career politicians, because how are you going to get something different if you keep fishing in the same pool?
Correct.
You catch the same fish because that's all that's available in there. And when I worked for the council, we had a saying called DDSS, different day, same shit. And that's what happens when you've got career politicians. They may look different, they may sound different, but you're fishing in the same pool. You just got the same fish.
Correct.
So I agree. He's in the top 5. He may be number 1 next year.
Yeah, he's a great choice, and he's got to be in the top 5. So I applaud that.